All right. So the title of Traitors Season 4, Episode 5, If You're Going to Come For Me, I'll Finish You. Immediately, I don't think Monet's showing up for breakfast today. Sorry, he's just pushing up daisies.
I'm with you. I thought the exact same thing.
But there was so much more to it. So much more as we deep dive. And we are left with so many questions. Was the shield taken? Well, channel surfers, I advise the tarot, and we have an answer. Traitors, Season 4, Episode 5. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Hey, channel surfers. Welcome to Remote Reality. I'm Lauren, your friend and attorney host, who also likes to play a little bit of tarot card every once in a while. Overanalyzes everything, including my favorite reality TV shows. And, well, apparently on Friday, I just can't stop talking about Traitors because they can't stop giving us episodes.
And I'm Dee, her paralegal and smartass, sometimes reluctant sidekick.
We're going to be smartass today. It's all right. It's Friday. We want to start by thanking the channel surfers for all of your support, for subscribing, liking, commenting. It means the world to us. This is what we do for fun when we're not playing lawyer and paralegal in our normal lives. You know, you got to have some fun with life. Let's be real.
Yeah. It's definitely been a wah week too. It's like one thing on top of another. It just keeps piling.
We're getting through it.
We're getting through it.
We made some progress.
Yeah.
We took that shovel and dug out some stuff. But enough of that. We don't need to talk about work. Let's talk about Traitors. If you are new here, the best way to support us is to like, subscribe, and share with friends that like Traitors, 90 Day Fiancé the Other Way, Sister Wives, True Crime, Love is Blind, Big Brother. And everybody listening, let us know what you want to hear. We are just kind of covering what we want to cover, and we'll keep doing that. But if someone has a request, blah, blah, blah. Words are hard on Friday afternoon. Anybody has a request, we'd be happy to roll it around. Jump into it like a big vat of jelly. Make it wiggle.
We're game. Yeah, we're game.
So let us know what you'd like covered. Traitors is going to be done in February. It looks like February 9th, we will have wrapped up 90 Day the Other Way. Single Life is coming out.
Oh, yeah.
So that's something we're rolling around. Also, I think a new Real Housewives season is going to start. It might be Potomac, Miss Candace. I don't know. So let us know. What do you want to hear? What are you watching? What do you have comments on? All right, well, let's jump into Traitors. Breakfast time. The best time of the day. Get your cup of coffee and sip your saucer of tea. Let's figure out who got murdered last night. Nothing says tea time like Rob rolling in with his overalls.
Oh my gosh. I was thinking, Green Acres doesn't look so bad now.
Those tattoos look bad.
I know. He just looks so sexy in those bibs.
When did you get arrested for a DUI, and who did you let do those prison tats? Those are not good tattoos. I don't have tattoos, but I have eyes, and those are not good tattoos.
I wasn't really paying attention to the tattoos, honestly.
It was rough.
They're like an afterthought.
Well, they look like snakes.
I'm still recovering.
Makes me think episode 4 was to cut the head off the serpent.
Mm-hmm.
Was that head Tiffany?
Well, I mean, he didn't have anything to do with...
Well, I just don't understand what it meant. Maybe it had to do with his serpent arms that we're finding in this episode.
Maybe it had... I don't know. Maybe it had something to do with the mission, or someone may have made that statement and we just didn't catch it.
Well, everybody is still feeling real bad about Tiffany. So go ahead, pour a little bit of Bailey's in your coffee. Let's cheer up, guys.
I wonder why they don't... I don't notice any mimosas. Have you noticed any mimosas? It's always like tea or coffee. What's wrong with this group?
Usually they have the alcohol just flowing, but On Traitors, they do seem to have it more together than a lot of reality shows.
That's one of the things that I know about Dorinda from Real Housewives. I mean, she's usually really out there anyway, but you put some alcohol in her and she gets so fun, and we're just not seeing that side of her in this show.
One side we did see of Dorinda were her nails, which I had painted my nails this purple color on Tuesday, and then I saw her nails look similar, but she had a gold pointer and a gold ring finger. So if you're on YouTube, you can see I busted it out in little a la Dorinda nails.
Cute.
They were I loved her nails. I don't know if I did enough gold. When I had more on there, I thought that's too much, but now I'm thinking not enough. It's really a hard balance, isn't it? So all the safe people have come into breakfast. Man, they go after that smoked salmon.
I was going to say, it's like every breakfast has the smoked salmon, and someone is always coming in asking if there's any of it left. So it must be amazing.
I love smoked salmon. So once the safe people are in, we got to figure out who survived the night. First, we get Michael, Yum Yum, and Ron. They survived murder. I'd be afraid to murder Michael. I feel like something toxic might spew out of him. I don't know. Certus, perhaps.
I don't know.
There's some toxins going through that body that it might be a workplace hazard for these murderers. We might need to call, what's it called, OSHA?
Yeah, he has been a good shield, though, for the traitors. So
yes, but if we were going to murder him, it might be messier than necessary. Might be nuclear. So Ron, people don't seem too happy that he's walking in. He's a stand-up comic, and he's like, okay, well, last time I got this little applause was open mic night. Thank you for being so excited about my present. He really has been isolated.
Yeah. There's no forgiveness in this house for him.
I would have thought he would be funnier, like making jokes, winning people over with a sense of humor. He
not.
seems kind of timid.
Yeah,
So
not
that's
very outgoing.
surprising.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be very outgoing.
And he talks about that in this episode, but that to me would build trust and win me over. Somebody that's funny. I don't know. I trust funny people. Wonder why that is. Maybe it has something to do with endorphins.
Maybe.
Now, Michael, he still thinks Ron is sus at this point because of Portia. We beat a dead horse talking about that. Yesterday, during the effigy mission, Yam Yam's shield was last to get burned. And he broke down into tears. It was really sad. And Colton asks him, why'd you have all the tears yesterday? And then Colton goes, I cried enough on my season of The Bachelor. I've already done enough crying on TV. So I'll save the tears for you because I've had my share. Natalie turns to Rob and asks Rob if he knew that Colton was on The Bachelor and he was dating 30 women. And then he came out. And Dorinda had no idea. Colton asked why she was living under a rock. And I was like, well, Dee was living under that same rock.
I didn't know that either.
We talked about that the first episode. And I didn't even realize I was watching The Bachelor back then. I'm surprised I knew this. But yeah, I like Under My Rock.
Well, I mean,
it's moist. It's dark. It's cool.
Even back in our conversation, though, you were like, maybe not. I don't know where I saw it at. I can't find anything. I'm not sure. So we really were you were kind of like back and forth since the show started until this episode on whether you knew it. You were like, I thought I saw it somewhere.
No, I knew it. I said he was married. He did. He got married.
Yeah, but I thought at one point we were like, well, maybe not. Because I can't find it anymore. That's the reason. I thought you said
we talked about that yesterday with the Tepe murders. That the ex-husband, somebody had reported.
I'm so sorry. I have this show confused with that show. When
that's not a show.
yesterday.
That is true crime that you guys have heard me kind of talking about, and my attorney brain keeps turning parts of it over.
Yes.
So yesterday we did a podcast.
You're right. I am completely confusing it with the guy from the ex-husband
somehow I
from
knew
yesterday
because I looked it up, and anyway, we don't need to go
I'm
down
giving
that
it
path.
to you. I'm telling you, I had it confused with yesterday's show that we did. Sorry.
Yesterday, I drugged Dee. She didn't even know what she was getting into. She's not even on camera, but we covered the Tepe murders, which is a true crime. It's a homicide, double homicide, right from just December 30th that they just made an arrest. And I took her from start to finish, like from the 911 calls to the arraignment. So if anybody's interested in the attorney and paralegal perspective on that, go check it out. I'm going to put a link somewhere around here. First time I'm going to try this. I don't know. Look at the top of your screen. It'll be up there if you want to check it out. So save it for later.
Like there's no chance that the link might be down here?
Could be. It could be anywhere on the screen.
We'll cover both areas. You can cover the top and I'll be like, it might be down here.
Look on the screen for the link. Somewhere now, a little bit in the past, maybe a little in the future. I'm going to try to hit it. We'll see what happens. Let's say Tepe link, and then I'll search for that when I'm good at it. Anyway, back to Traitors. Yeah, so Dee is under her rock. I'm under my rock.
Apparently, Dorinda's under the rock with us.
Dorinda's under the rock, but she wished she was not under the rock. She was like, I missed a window of opportunity there. Remember, yesterday, Alan said Dorinda hasn't had a ride in a long time.
Exactly.
You know, she would have appreciated that ride. Colton, she wished she knew because she would have been trying to get it in. And Colton goes, well, you dodged a bullet.
She wanted to ride on that merry-go-round.
On that bicycle. Some more knocking. I don't try to guess who's on the other side of the knock.
I don't.
I just noticed in the past, I'd hear like these huge knocks and think it was a big person and it's a little person, little knocks, think it's a little person, it's a big person. So my guessing is very off with the knocking. So I don't even try to guess. But it is Lisa, Mara, and Steven. Am I shocked that we don't see Monet yet? No. We talked about this last week. The editors, this is strategic. They are saving the drama for the end, which is why the faithful in this house need to be paying attention to the order that people come into breakfast. Now, Mara walks in and she's like, where did the smoked salmon go? Excuse me. Did y'all eat all the smoked salmon and not save any for me? That is rude. And we're not even talking about like them being out on a mission and her coming back a little bit later. Like 5 or 6 people haven't come down for breakfast yet, and the salmon's already gone. I don't know. Makes me want some smoked salmon.
Maybe not enough is being made for every single person. Maybe we don't have somebody doubling up on the smoked salmon. Maybe they're just not making enough for everybody.
They didn't anticipate its popularity.
Apparently not, because, I mean, we have after watching, we're on season 5 now. Everybody loves the smoked salmon.
5.
Sorry, episode 5. Damn, it's Friday.
Friday brain. It's fried.
Traitors, just have your chef make some more smoked salmon. Make extra.
I don't know if he can just whip that up, Dee. I think it's more of like a curing process. It takes some time. Candace is sitting there with a whole plate of salmon and she rolls her eyes at Mara. Like, girl, please. I got here first.
I was going to say, Candace's ass is getting in there first so she can make sure she gets that smoked salmon.
That is the clearest traitor move that I've seen Candace do is eat all the smoked salmon and roll her eyes. She's kind of off Mara just so she doesn't have to hear about the smoked salmon as she's shoving it in her pie hole. Yep, Mara, you're getting taken out over a smoked salmon.
Be careful, Mara. You better watch it. Quit talking about the salmon.
Last knock. We've got Johnny and Tara. So Monet's gone. Michael didn't see it coming. We did.
Yes, we did.
Gotta keep Lisa's name out your mouth. Now, Monet, as he exits, his exit is grand. It is sassy, spicy. It's everything we'd expect from Monet. He says he's gonna haunt this castle. Ectoplasm all on these hoes, okay? But sir, this is not ectoplasm. It is visible with a black light, but we don't think it came from the other side. It's gooey. And it's all over the walls. But who told you this was ectoplasm? Trusting Candace is what led to Monet's demise. He told her that he suspected Lisa, and she told Lisa. And she feels bad about it. But these traitors, They're like honor among thieves.
They're very in sync with each other and
They
protective
have
of each other
loyalty. For traitors, they are loyal to each other
so far from what we've seen.
so far.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't that how it always starts?
It didn't last very long last season.
Lisa is pretending to be sad, even though she thinks murder is delicious. And she laments that Monet was one of the best dressed this season and does a cheers with Colton with orange juice and looks him in the eyes. And in that moment, I write down in my note, is he on to her? The way he was looking at her when she was interacting with him and reacting to Monet, it was almost like something clicked. Go back and watch that moment because that was my first impression. And then we're taken to Alan's breakfast fashion corner. What did you think of his shirt?
I loved it because
Murder.
I loved it. Murder.
I had to keep rereading it. I was like, does that say murder or just murder?
I think it was
What does it
supposed to be
say?
like he says it, like a purr. Murder.
Oh, I like how you purred that.
Yeah, thank you.
Not bad for a Hick.
Not bad for a Hick.
Oh my gosh. I don't know if we told the channel servers.
We did on the last one.
No, I think we edited that out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So apparently D and I have accents, which crazy news to me because we live in the South. So accents to me are usually someone I'm sitting on my front porch and I reckon I'll be eating some string beans later today. And that didn't even sound like I had an accent.
No, that was more, I don't know what that was. Now, I have a girlfriend that has a very Southern accent, and she reminds me of Julia Sugarbaker from Designing Women when she talks. That's what I always considered an accent. I don't think I have an accent, but whatever.
Like my husband's grandparents, they called him Robert, like that old Southern Robert.
Yeah.
Or like an Australian accent. Apparently, I'm guessing they're me. I sound like a Kardashian, which I don't even know what that means. I've never watched the Kardashians.
I haven't seen them either.
That's how
other
I
than
sound. Like a Valley Girl Kardashian.
Yeah. And apparently I sound like a Hick, which I own. I say that I sound like a Hick when I talk sometimes.
So we're the Hick and the Valley Girl. Or not everybody shot a whiskey.
Nope. Hold my beer. Watch this.
Hey, Bo, watch this. Okay, ADHD sidetrack on a Friday afternoon. Let's go back to the Traitors. Lisa goes up to Kristen as they leave brunch, and she's like, I really like you.
Aw.
And Kristen is having a hard time distinguishing like and trust. She's trusted Ron and Jam Jam, but now their names are floating around. And I'm sitting here thinking how much this can relate to actual life. I mean, some of my friends' dating horror stories all boil down to the confusion of like and trust. The irony here is that Kristen is having this little conversation with two traitors, Lisa and Candace. And also she's talking to Tara.
I personally don't understand how anybody comes into this game with any kind of expectation of trust. The game is literally called Traitors. So why would you even consider trusting? I mean, that would be the number one thing that's going to get you in trouble is trusting somebody.
Well, in order to find the traitors, you have to have communication. And
Well,
in
you can
order
have
to
that without
communicate, you have
trust.
to trust that you can have a conversation with somebody.
True.
So I think the premise of the game just leads us between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can do a lot of things without full-blown trusting somebody as far as this game goes.
So Lisa, Kristen, Candace, and Tara in the hallway, they're like, where are your heads at? And Lisa goes ahead and takes a jab at Ron. And Kristen, when she asks Lisa why, her answer is kind of like, well, it's so obvious. I mean, there's no footing behind it. But then Tara jumps in to defend her, of course, her using all the reasons that we've talked about ad nauseum as to why people think Ron is a traitor. But we've got a new reason after yesterday's roundtable, which is how quickly Ron flipped and threw Mara under the bus. Because at the roundtable yesterday, he said those late footsteps, I think it's going to be Mara.
Mm-hmm.
That's not really throwing under the bus. That is somebody with actual evidence. Like, that evidence, how is it any different than Eric's evidence?
Mm-hmm. True.
Eric
I'm
heard a
just
laugh he thought was Tiffany's.
I am just amazed with the ones on here when they're like, I am absolutely sure. I am absolutely sure. 100% sure. I'm telling you, this person is a traitor. I mean, I've never seen that so much. Like, how are you so absolutely sure?
Well, you don't hear Candace saying that. But Candace also
No.
worked in D.C. And
No.
we don't say things like that a lot because, well,
Right.
attorney, paralegal. I mean, sometimes I do when I'm
But I
absolutely
was-
sure.
Right. But I was just surprised at the amount of times this episode and even last episode that I heard people saying, I'm sure. I am absolutely fucking sure.
I heard a lot coming from Colton.
Yeah. I think Kristen said that once this episode, and there was somebody else this episode that said, I'm sure it's this
Kristen
person.
is saying that about, I know I have that in my notes, but she wasn't outspoken about it. Michael, you hear him say that a lot, but he's a cannon. He fires off anything at the mouth. I feel like
Right.
Colton's kind of a cannon too. He'll just say anything. But the persuasion works when it needs to work. This is the thing. I almost feel like this cast, if they like somebody, their justifications and reasons are going to lean toward them being faithful. They're going to find ways, they're going to twist that argument to convince themselves that this is a good person. If they don't like somebody, they're going to twist it in a way where they don't like it. And then when it comes to somebody actually bringing facts to the table like Ron, they're all going to get mad at him and want to toss him out.
Yeah, they've already made up their mind about him.
They're
'Cause we've
messing up
seen
the
that.
equilibrium.
Yeah, we've seen that with his isolation.
They can't gaslight themselves if somebody is bringing actual facts.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people playing with their feelings right now instead of like breaking it down and listening to the ones that bring what sound like, pretty good evidence.
So the last episode, we know there were between 2 to 4 footsteps heard. I wonder if the women are trusting each other because the traitor they got out was a woman. And that maybe they're presuming that there's more men still in the house as traitors.
Right.
Possibly 2 men.
Yeah, that's a good possibility.
Because the girls do seem to have like a girl code.
They seem to be banding together quite well without it being intentional. You know what I mean?
And the bros are banding together too.
True.
The hunks.
The hunks.
Now, Mara poses the question to Kristen, Lisa, and Candace. Why did we let Colton flip our vote to Tiffany? Why did we all just like roll over and listen to him? This dude and Michael, they are getting in our heads. Maybe it's time for Colton to take a hit. Which, is that because you suspect he's a traitor? Because he's throwing an innocent person under the bus? I guess one thing in Colton's resume is that he got out a traitor. And it wasn't like an annoying traitor or a traitor that it was a threat. It was Mama Kelsey. It was someone that you probably didn't want to get rid of.
Right.
And they don't know that the traitors were not revealed the secret identity. So the faithfuls don't know that. Whereas we can say, well, they voted her out because they didn't know. That wouldn't be a justification in the mind of the faithful here.
I mean, she was kicked out basically for not socializing enough. That's the reason why they thought she was the traitor.
Her face, which was the telltale sign for me. I told you right off the bat, I knew it was her.
Yeah.
Like I said, there was no expression. It's like she was trying too hard not to react. And she was not reacting at all. He's living on borrowed time. And he knows it. He is just waiting to get banished or murdered because that's where he is right now. Nobody likes him.
He doesn't really seem to get to care either.
Well, if your back's up against a wall, why not state what you're thinking? Which is Dorinda and Michael, are the traitors. Now, his reason for Dorinda, now usually Ron is good with proof, but for Dorinda, it's because she didn't let him get a word in at the round table. This was when there was the conversation about him versus getting out Tiffany. And she was trying to talk, and he started to say something, and she's like, no. And then Alan cut off the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Look, around these housewives, Ron, dear, you gotta be assertive.
These women flip tables. I mean,
they will steamroll you.
Yeah.
So it says that Dorinda defends Michael's behavior. She says that she's known him a very long time, and this is just who he is. That's his traitor to him, when in reality, like you said, if you've watched his shows, he is who he is. There's no skit-scatting around that.
Yeah, he's always over the top.
So his lack of knowledge about Michael Rappaport, and later we find out the housewives, may be influencing who he sees as a traitor and not. And instead of getting to know them, he's just pulling theories out of his ass. Okay, Kristen suspects Colton because the way he asks questions. He's not trying to figure out what you're saying. He's trying to figure out how to convince you of what he wants.
Interesting.
Newsflash. He's not that smart, Kristen. You are giving this man too much credit. Okay. This mastermind. No. So that's breakfast. That's some insight in what everybody's thinking after Monet gets knocked off. And channel surfers, we are heading over to the mission. Today's mission is walking through a murky pond, finding coins that have locations, carrying statues back to the pond and placing them on their shelf, and then turning wheel to get blood to squirt out.
Yeah, it's a fountain.
That's what I said.
You kept saying pond, so I was like, did I? Yeah, it's a fountain.
What's it in?
A circle.
Fountain in a circle.
I knew as soon as I said it.
So, the circle fountain, as they go through and retrieve the statues from different places on the grounds, there's going to be an opportunity for them to take shields. The catch is if no one takes a shield, then there's no murder, which does not sit pretty with Lisa. Lisa, she wants a little bit of that cherry sundae.
She's got a murder.
She's hungry. She's hangry. Hangry for some murder. So this didn't sit well with her and ITMs. No murder makes Lisa a mad girl.
Yeah, she not happy. No happy life with no happy housewife.
Housewives. Yeah. So Alan, he looks at his wrist where there's a leather cuff but no watch. And he says, go. What's with the fake watch, Alan?
I don't know.
Again, I sometimes suspect that the timers are fake because as you'll see in this mission, it goes down to the wire. It's the groups, and they're broken down into groups again. As they venture off to find coins and statues, they're kind of all agreeing. If someone takes a shield, it's sus, they're a traitor. Only a traitor would take a shield. Which makes sense. Now they're thinking with their heads and their brains.
Yeah, but if you're somebody like, let's say, Ron or Michael, who knows people's been coming after them and stuff, you might consider wanting to get a shield if they think that they're in danger of being murdered.
They're going after them at the round table. The murderers aren't going after Michael
I said
or
if
Ron.
they thought they might
that.
be at risk for murder. They don't know. In their minds, they may be double, risk.
But
Murder
if you
and
look
round
at the
table.
MO and who they're killing, they're not killing the big players.
They're not killing the players with the big mouths, no, so far.
So in the pond, there's also some decoys, and someone screams out, throw out the decoys. I think it might be Tara. So I like that we've got some strategy going, even though most of the gamers have been booted from the castle. Tara's complaining that she only likes frozen water. She'd rather skate on this pond than fountain. Circle. She'd rather skate on the circle than walk through it. And Johnny is not feeling it either. You know what Johnny is feeling? Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. That outfit he was wearing screamed Beetlejuice.
I didn't even pay attention. That's how bad I am right now.
Yeah, no, he was giving Beetlejuice. 1,000%. That's the only place I've seen that outfit.
Mm-hmm.
Candace is like, if I fall in this water, it's going to get my coochies dirty. And who's going to take care of my yeast infection? You?
I can't believe she even said it on the camera.
Do you usually have someone there to take care of it? Isn't that kind of a you job?
Definitely a her
Does
job.
it take more than you? And a script. So on the teams, we've got Tara, Kristen, Mara. And who else do you think is on the team? Tara, Kristen, Mara. It's Rob. If Mara's on it, you know that Rob is on it.
Oh my gosh. You can tell I'm getting tired because I can't even think anymore. And I literally just watched this episode right before we started.
Then we have Johnny, Michael, Dorinda, and Natalie, Colton, Mark, and Lisa, and Candace, Yam Yam, Steven, Eric, and Ron. So first team to get a statue is Tara, Kristen, Mara, and Rob. And as the teams are going, like, they just want to look at the shields. They're not saying they want to take it. They just want to see.
They want to see what they look like.
And at the beginning, a lot of the shields, it's just like one shield that they're finding. Johnny, Michael, Dorinda, and Natalie are the second team to come up with the statue. Now, when they go to get it, Dorinda, she's like, I don't trust these people. Maybe we should take this statue. I don't trust that nobody is going to take a statue.
A shield.
A shield. She's like, nobody would know. Colton, Mark, Lisa, and Candace, they get the third statue. Now, they have to cross water to get this statue, and this is the only one that they get.
Mm-hmm.
And when they lift it up, there are 4 shields under the statue. Colton, this is not how he imagined his game. He said when he came to play.
Mm-hmm.
So just turning down a statue, it's like not in his vocabulary. He's conflicted.
Right. And he's also unknowingly got 2 traitors on his team. So who would love to see somebody pick up that shield?
Lisa and Candace.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to stop him.
No.
Yam Yam, Steven, Eric, and Ron, they get the 4th statue. Now, Tara, Kristen, Mara, Rob, that team, and Colton, Mark, Lisa, and Candace, both of those teams only get 1 statue each. Johnny, Michael, Dorinda, and Natalie, they get the 2nd statue, the 5th statue, and the 7th statue. Now, when they get the 7th statue, the editors don't show us them go to grab it, which makes me think maybe they grabbed the shields when they got that statue. Maybe they were talking about it. That's Johnny, Michael, Dorinda, and Natalie, because we do not see that in the edit. I rewound a few times and it is not there.
I know there was one other team that saw 4 of the shields in the grate under the statue, but I can't remember which team it was after Candace, Colton.
No, it was Yam Yam, Steve, Eric, and Ron.
Oh, okay.
So they got the 6th statue. I was about to get to them. The 6th statue and the 8th statue. It's that 8th statue. They look and there's 4 shields. But the 7th statue, Johnny, Michael, Dorinda, and Natalie, we don't see them get it. We see them get every other statue. We see them lift it up. We do not see it.
Gotcha.
My thought is they went there. They're running their mouths about how they're going to take the shield.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we don't see it.
Yeah, because we see all of the
evidence
teams.
of what you don't see is evidence of what.
Yeah, we see just about all of the teams discussing whether or not to take the shields or not.
Well, we see all the teams getting every single statue except for the 7th statue.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
We see them crossing the river. We see them lifting it up. We do not see them retrieve the 7th statue. They kind of just glaze over it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I had to rewind it a few times. What do you think, Channel Surfers? Do you think that's an indicator that the editors are leaving out where the statue came or didn't come? Let us know in the comments. So with only seconds left into Alan's leather wristband non-watch, they complete the fountain, turn it on, blood spews everywhere. Boom, $16,000. Yeah. Ooh, ooh. And as far as the shields, well, we're not finding out now. We will find out later. Time to go to the round table. That's interesting. It removes the discussion of shields from the round table we're about to see. So it pushes it off another week. My guess is that Johnny, Michael, Dorinda, and Natalie got shield.
Took the shields.
Yes. So we get back to the house. Stephen and Dorinda are having a meeting talking about Ron, and Ron just happens to stroll right into it. Don't you love when that happens?
In his sherbet jacket.
You know what? I think he was just taking a page out of Alan's book from last week.
Yeah, that was the brightest orange I think I've ever seen.
They both had bright orange on. It was orange. And Ron, he's not giving any fucks. Dorinda's there. You want to know what I'm thinking, Dorinda? I think you're a traitor because you are a traitor. So they start throwing jabs. But he tells her right to her face. Now in the kitchen, brilliant Colton is like, everybody that voted for Michael is gone now.
I did not realize that.
Including Tiffany, who Colton got out the week before.
True.
And Portia, who Ron got out. What has Michael done to get anybody out? The only person that Michael's really placed a target on their back is his own.
His own, yeah.
Even when he's throwing out names, it's like rubber and glue. It bounces off of them and sticks to Michael.
And I don't think really anybody is thinking about what Colton is saying, or they would realize what you just said.
Which is, okay, great. Yeah, those people happen to be gone. But Colton, you got one of them out. Ron got another one of them out. Michael hadn't done anything to get them out.
No. He's just going around causing chaos from one place to another day after day.
It's like Colton almost has a good idea, but the thought just doesn't finish connecting.
Yeah, the equal sign just doesn't take it on home.
Just stop short of making sense.
Complete.
The only person that isn't gone that voted for Michael is Yum Yum. And of course, Colton's saying this like right in front of Michael and Yum Yum. So you think Michael's just going to sit there and listen to
not Michael,
this guy talk out of his ass? No,
not Michael.
Even if Colton had been making sense, Michael wouldn't have sat there and taken it. Michael thinks that if nobody dies tonight, that 2 people will die tomorrow. So Colton keeps going at him. He's like, did Alan change his clothes before you guys met in the turret? And Michael starts laughing. He's like, yeah, it's pretty funny. Like, it's a joke, right? I'm a faithful. This is the second time somebody's made a joke about who's walking with me in the woods and what is Alan wearing. And then Colton's like, why are you laughing?
And he takes his reaction as proof he hit a nerve.
Right. It's like, okay, so you were seriously asking him if he changed his clothes? You couched that in a joke.
So,
and then somebody laughs and you're like, traitor.
Right. Well, I wonder what his reaction would be if someone asked him the exact same question. Like,
Colton is really bad at interrogating.
Yeah. I mean, wouldn't you laugh? I mean, most people would probably laugh that off. Like, is that
a joke? Then yes, you expect somebody to laugh.
Exactly.
This is not how you trap somebody by telling a joke. What was Alan wearing? And then criticizing them for laughing at it. That's not busted. And actually, you're not that funny, Colton, so I can see why you think it's suspicious. I'm still mad about Tiffany. I'm wearing my feelings on my sleeve. Anyway, on my cape. But I thought that was interesting, that if no one dies tonight, that they'll take 2 out tomorrow. He must be thinking about the filming timeline, and if they're going to wrap up by a certain date, then you're going to have a double murder. So Michael tells Colton, you're pretty chatty for your pre-banishment party. You know, if you can make a joke, I can make a joke too, which is actually funnier. He's like, especially after you went after Tiffany. And then Colton, gloves off. I'm coming for you, Michael.
Yep.
Both of these guys can dish it, but they can't take it. Both of them. Colton keeps his cool and seems level-headed when he's dishing back versus Michael, who explodes like a volcano.
Yeah, he reminds me of somebody that when they lose their temper, they think less and less and less because their anger is taking over and they can't articulate what they want to say.
But neither of them can take it.
Mm-mm.
And while all this is happening, Rob is sitting in the corner with a smirk on his face while this is going down. He's like, this is great. We've got Colton and Michael fighting.
Mhm.
They're throwing Ron under the bus, Yam Yam, bringing up the Tiffany stuff. Doesn't look like
Yeah.
anybody's going to talk about me at the round table today or my friends. So, hey, keep on talking, guys.
As long as they can keep them going like this in the house over and over and over again, these traitors are going to win this game.
And I'm pulling for them. I don't know
Mhm.
that I should be, but I am. I love these traitors.
I do too. I'm in the mood to be one, so I'm team traitor.
Candace is like the cutest little Bo Peep of traitors.
I thought she looked like some kind of like nurse or something, like one of the Halloween outfits, just minus the hat that you would wear for a nurse, because she had the stockings that went up her thigh and
And the
that-
blue stockings on her hands.
yes. And what color was that dress or jacket dress? Like a pink.
It was giving flight
it was
attendant to
salmon.
me again.
It was like a salmon color.
But there was one where it was a jumper. It was like a salmon or pink colored jumper that reminded me of Bo Peep.
Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. It just kind of reminded me of like a Halloween outfit that somebody would wear on Halloween, like sexy Bo Peep.
So when we came into this episode, we both thought that If You Come For Me, I'll Finish You had to do with Monet. Monet
Mhm.
speaking Lisa's name and
Mhm.
her finishing him.
Right.
Quite literally, with a murder. However, Michael and Colton sparring back and forth. Michael tells Colton, if you come for me, you're really going to mess yourself up. Look, dude, you messed up with Tiffany. If you want to come for me, you're going to get another faithful out. And Colton turns around and says, if you come for me, I will finish you.
Mm-hmm.
And he also wants to make sure he's the responsible one for sending Michael home.
Mm-hmm.
You see how Michael feels. He wears his emotions on his cape also.
Mm-hmm.
I guess only a traitor would say that. But Colton, it's like he keeps it buried and then it just comes out. That was a lot of emotion. If you come for me, I'm going to finish you. And I want to be responsible for taking you out. Just like with Tiffany when he told her last week, how do you spell your name? And he was very passive aggressive with her.
He's very almost diabolical. I shouldn't say it like that, but he has the look of like he's calculating what he's saying. Like it's purposeful.
Heading to the round table. Heading in, I'm thinking what Michael's thinking, which is that Colton's a traitor, but he's just too stupid to pull it off. Not because I have no idea who the traitors are. I know who they all are. But it's interesting. Colton is playing this game like a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
Once one target's gone, he's looking for someone else to throw the blame at. And it's to protect himself, to protect people from going after him, which is how a traitor would play. So it's interesting that as a faithful, he's actually playing as a traitor.
Right. Which is
strategy.
typically one of the things that gets the faithfuls nominated at the round table in the first place. You know, the ones that are doing the things that he's doing and saying things are usually the first ones that everybody starts suspecting as a traitor.
Well, except in this season, just somebody not liking you is enough.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. In the past, that's the way it's been. So far, not here.
It's interesting that Michael calls Colton stupid. He's come up with a little alliteration. And he starts the speech conniving, colluding, commiserating, Colton. All of these words start with C, and they all describe Colton.
I think he had a mispronunciation on one of them.
What do you mean, what was he trying to say instead of commiserating?
I thought about it when I was watching it, but for the life of me, I cannot think of what the word is now. But I had it when I was watching it, and then it was just, it's like it's one of those things that's like on the edge of your brain of knowing, but you can't quite grasp it.
See, I think everything is there for you right now on Friday afternoon. It's all sitting right at the edge of your brain, but it's just hard to get a hold of. A slippery little thought.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. Like,
I have no idea what you're talking about. I think
you never do
Michael
that. Like
is as
you hear
stupid as
like
Colton,
song,
and
like
he
music
just,
in your ear.
Huh? Did I ever hear music in my ear?
What?
Like without headphones?
Did you ever hear music in your head over and over, and you try to think of what the song is called, and it's just like at the very edge of your brain, but you can't quite grasp it? That's what it reminded me of when I heard him, because I knew when I heard him saying that word, I'm like, that's not the right word.
But he said it anyway, and he said it so confidently, and he kept saying it.
He said it over and over.
Once.
Yeah.
Right.
I wasn't talking about him.
Smart.
I was talking about myself. Yeah. I was talking, it's two different things. I was not talking about him. I was saying when I heard that word, when I heard him say the word, I knew it wasn't the right word, but I could not grasp what it was supposed to be.
I think it's supposed to be commiserating, and he's as stupid as he thinks Colton is. Maybe he meant confused.
I don't know I give up. You're just tongue-tying me.
But yeah, blame it on me. It's all my fault.
I'm too tired to argue this with you. I know what I meant.
Michael calls Colton out for going around and saying Tiffany, and now all of a sudden he's walking around with Michael in his mouth. And then I turn on Michael at this point. He says there would be nobody better at keeping a secret than you. How did you interpret that?
I honestly, it did not register for me that it was any kind of a dig. I thought that it was, he's trying to say that he's a traitor, so it would be easy to keep a secret. It didn't dawn on me, didn't register until everybody else at the table started saying something about it.
Sorry. Just had that conversation at breakfast that morning.
Right. I don't remember if he was in there for the conversation, but the
thing
I
was. It was breakfast.
The only thing I'm saying is it didn't register for me that it was anything other than the way he said it.
And of course, playing devil's advocate, thought experiment. What did he mean?
I just told you that because it's a game of traitors. I just thought that
nobody would be better at keeping a secret than you.
Okay.
We're just throwing that. It just happens to be secret. Like, nobody's more conniving than you. Nobody's a better liar than you. Which the liar part,
I'm just saying,
you would kind of expect that because the people are lying. To me, I
didn't catch it. Is all I'm saying is it did not register for me.
Well, now that
something
you've caught
offensive
it
until everybody said something
about it.
I'm not defending it. You asked me what I thought, and I said I didn't catch it until everybody started saying it.
But I'm saying I'm not convinced that Michael meant something other than you are hiding your sexuality. Nobody has accused traitors of keeping secrets. We hear you're a good liar. You're trying to control people. You're trying to spin the narrative. We're not hearing them saying you're good at keeping secrets. Because how would you know in this situation if somebody is good at keeping a secret? Unless they get evicted, they get banished, and you find out they're a traitor.
Right. I would assume anybody that's a traitor is keeping a secret. They're keeping a secret that they're the traitor. That's what I'm saying.
But that's a weird thing to throw out there because nobody talks about the traitors keeping secrets. They talk about them lying. They talk about them manipulating. They talk about them throwing competitions. They don't talk about them keeping secrets.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The only time that who in this whole game so far, when have we talked about anybody keeping a secret? The whole game. Any of them. Has anybody accused anybody of keeping a secret, or has anybody given props to somebody for keeping a secret?
No, not that I know of. I don't know.
The only time we've even talked about secrets in this entire game, and it wasn't even a secret, but it's that he believed he was still heterosexual when he went on The Bachelor, which he says that's who he believed he was at that time. So it wasn't even a secret that he was hiding, but the round table sees it the same way because they know they're not walking around talking about people keeping secrets. That's not part of the conversation. That's only been part of one conversation, not even part of it, but implied in it. And there are several LGBTQ people at the round table who are rightfully offended by it. Like, we're comparing apples to oranges. This is not the same as being a traitor. And what secret has Colton kept? He is an open book. I don't think a thought enters his head without it spitting out of his mouth. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm just saying it didn't register with me. Honestly, I had forgotten about the conversation at the table that morning. So I'm not thinking anything.
I gotcha, but I'm sitting here
I see what everybody
thinking,
else.
Like, how
and then
could
I was
Michael
like, oh.
mean anything else? And I don't see how Michael could mean anything else. It doesn't even make sense that Colton keeps secrets because he doesn't have that filter.
He's very open about it. Yeah, he was talking about it at
everything.
breakfast open. Yes.
So around the table, everybody's thinking, look, traitor or faithful, Michael is a liability. He is taking too much focus away from us to keep our heads in the game. If he's a faithful, and if he's a traitor, good, he's gone. But they're at a point where they don't care. In order for them to play this game, they need to cut him loose. It's too distracting.
The chaos, as we hear the traitors talk about, that certain players keep going in the game.
Now, Michael, of course, doubles down. That's not what I meant, but he can't explain it. And then he starts throwing out his C's again. And remember, Rob Orr's game is to play stupid, but he pops right in and he's like, I'm sorry, I can't take this anymore, but commiserating means that you have empathy for somebody.
Yes.
It's not the flex you think it is, which... Oh, stupid boy. You're supposed to be playing stupid, but there's a brain in there, which...
You just let it shine its light for a second.
Is it just me, or is Rob Orr probably one of the more intelligent people at this table?
I think
that came out of left field for me.
Yeah, I was not expecting it when I heard him say it, and I was like, oh no.
He is smart enough to keep his mouth shut most of the time, and when he opens it, he's intelligent and good looking. Like I said, I'm pulling for the traitors. Michael thinks the traitors are Ron. Ron thinks the traitor is Michael and Dorinda. He says that Dorinda is a housewife hunter. And then Ron says he doesn't know who the housewives are. And then he says he doesn't care to know who they are. He doesn't care anything about their life. And everybody's like, that's the point, Ron. But Ron, this is strategic. He said, if I get too close, that's going to cloud my judgment away from whether or not you're a traitor. If I like you, it's going to cloud like with trust, which, what did we hear the girls saying at the very beginning here? I'm confusing liking somebody for trusting someone.
So his strategy.
This is very smart of Ron to keep those two things distinct and not to get close because he wants to be able to see clearly.
Yeah, it's his strategy.
Candace, she's sticking to her guns. She says Ron is possibly a traitor because of Portia. And again, with the wording, listen to what they're saying. Listen to Lisa Rinna. Listen to Portia. This time she says he is possibly a traitor because of what happened with Portia. Possibly. Everybody else is throwing accusations like, yeah, traitor, traitor, traitor. She's the only one that knows he's not. So she knows if she says he's a traitor, she's going to look like a liar. Whereas the other people hurling accusations, they could be right and they're convinced they're right. So I thought that word possibly was very interesting coming from Portia, that Ron is possibly a traitor. A lot of this roundtable, though, it's Michael telling Colton, I'm coming for you. Colton telling Michael, I'm coming for you. Other people just fed up with Michael and the drama. And they're like, we're all coming for you. We don't care if you're a traitor or not. You got to go. Michael getting mad and telling Eric he's the man with the magic ears. It's like, Dumbo. But tone deaf, laugh deaf. Does that even make sense that he would be able to recognize somebody's laugh after knowing them for 3 days because he's a trained musician? I mean, it sounds good, but I don't know that we really laid the foundation to make him an expert in laughs. I mean,
think
obviously,
given
that Tiffany wasn't a traitor, we didn't.
Right. I honestly think that the only way someone's laugh would be recognizable if it was like a distinct standout kind of laugh. Like maybe
Janice from
somebody,
Friends.
yeah, or somebody that snorts in the middle of their laughs or something. Like you don't
But you'd
miss
also
that.
have to know them for more than 3 days.
Yeah, unless you hear them for like if it's so loud, like you always hear it and you know that person's laugh every time you hear it, no matter whether or not they're in the room with you or not, because it's so distinct.
So we get to the vote. It's not even close. Everyone votes for Michael except the housewives, Dorinda, Lisa, and Candace, and then Steven. They all vote for Ron. Michael has to feel good, though, leaving the house with all the housewives having his back since he's a super fan.
He was super fan, yes.
And he leaves and all of them did not vote him out. So, even though what he said was likely very disgusting, because I can't think of any other way he would mean it, probably was special for him. Does this put a target on Lisa and Portia?
Candace?
Yes. Sorry, Ron, Portia.
I think that they both gave legitimate sounding reasons when they said that they voted for Ron and why they were voted for him.
And it makes sense that the housewives are all targeting Ron
because he's going after
he went after
Dorinda.
Portia. Well, he
and
went
Dorinda.
right, but he got rid of Portia.
Right. But at that round table tonight, he was going after Dorinda.
Correct.
Yeah.
So Michael reveals that he's not a traitor and nobody gives a fuck. He's gone. And then Ellen reveals that we aren't going to find out if anyone is murdered until breakfast tomorrow. So they leave the round table. And then Colton. He has a little talk with Mara, Dorinda, Yam Yam, and Rob is sitting aside listening. He suspects Lisa because she's quiet at the round table. She's not normally a quiet person. He sat next to her at breakfast. Remember that look I thought I saw him give her?
Yes.
And she was very animated. She's very dramatic. He's seen her on Housewives. But at the round table, she's very quiet. And Dorinda agrees. Lisa is acting kind of strange at the round tables. On top of that, she's wearing sunglasses, poker face. She voted for Portia instead of Donna, who was a traitor. To be fair, she didn't know, but she gave the best description of the murderer. He says because she saw the murderer 3 times, which no, because when they took off their masks, there was only one time that Lisa was present. It was not when the executioner was there. So she did not see it 3 times.
No, but none of them point that out.
No. Colton's talking out of his ass, saying things that might make sense, and they're not following through to double check behind his work. But Colton, he's like, look, Lisa Rinna would be my speed if she wasn't a traitor, which I don't know. I don't know that she would be.
I don't think so.
Like that.
I think she's playing the round table smart. Like a lot of them, she's not the only one that's not saying very much that could be very outgoing.
Well, the sunglasses, that was interesting.
Well, it's not always sunglasses, though. Sometimes it's regular glasses. They just have different frames. But she's always wearing some type of glasses. They're not necessarily always sunglasses. Yeah.
Specifically. Rob is trying to play it cool, and he's like, I haven't thought about it much. Now, he is aligned with Colton. You don't want to screw that up. So at some point, he's got to fish or cut bait with Lisa. So we go to the turret, and Rob reveals that Colton not only had Lisa's name in his mouth, but had a lot of opinions about Lisa. Had a whole list of stuff. And they're like, oh, man, he's a liability. We got to get rid of him. Now, first, Lisa, she goes, I need to talk more. I disagree. If all of a sudden she changes her path and starts talking more, it shows she's a traitor and that somebody around was a traitor and warned her, or somebody has warned her.
It could be a red flag for sure.
Could be a huge red flag. Instead, I think she needs to come up with a reason that she's not talkative at the round table. So when they ask her, she has a defense. She doesn't need to change her behavior. That's going to be very sus. And then they all decide that if somebody has taken a shield and they're able to murder, that they're going to get rid of Colton. Which just the night before, Your question with what Monet was, did he say it around other people? Because if we get rid of him, then that's going to put a target on me. That question's not being asked right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're thinking there was enough people present when he said it that it would maybe throw.
And that's where we get into, you could argue it either way, depending on what you want to believe. Because Lisa could say they obviously were trying to target me. Colton made an announcement, apparently, that I was the traitor. And it must have just been, the killer must have been sitting among you. But then she places the target on Rob. I don't know. I think it's going to be hard to place a target on Rob. Now, one thing I'm worried about is if they catch Elisa, I feel like a Portia is going to be pretty soon. Not a Portia. Candace is going to be pretty soon after.
Yeah, because they've been doing a lot of things together. They've not really been separating themselves out in front of everybody. It'll probably encompass Dorinda too, unfortunately.
Because it could be 3 to 4 traitors. All right, so channel surfers, I told you I pulled a card. The question was, did somebody take a shield? The answer we pulled was the Chariot. So this card, it's a card of decisive action, movement, and taking control. Not only did somebody take a shield, but they boldly and unabashedly took a shield. Not some passive or accidental, just going for it. They planned it out and grabbed it. They acted deliberately. There was confidence and intention behind the shield. It was strategic, not random. And whoever did it felt justified in doing it and empowered in doing it. They felt they had a reason. The Chariot drives the outcome. They saw an advantage, made a bold choice, and they took control of their own destiny. I think it's Johnny's team. I think it's that 7th statue that we missed in the edit. I would not be surprised if we go to breakfast next Friday and Colton's gone.
I agree.
Justice for Tiffany. That's all I've got for today. You got anything, Dee?
No, I'm good.
Any last brain farts to throw out there before we finish?
I think I've done enough of them this episode to give myself a good amount of damage.
All right, channel surfers, thank you for listening. Thank you for channel surfing with us. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you Monday with Sister Wives. Bye.
Let's ride.